So you guys are familiar with Tinder, right? And other dating apps like that where you're swiping left and swiping right depending on whether or not you like the other person that you see on your screen. Well, this video, I'm going to talk about what apps like Tinder and the like have taught me about online marketing. So if you're interested, then stay tuned. Obvious question here is going to be, Tracy, are you on Tinder? Right? Let me just tell you right now, no, I'm not on Tinder. I've never been on Tinder. I've never actually even seen the platform. I know that you're just swiping left and swiping right, depending on whether or not you like someone. But there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like I have a lot of friends and family members who have found successful relationships through online dating sites and online dating apps like Tinder. It's just not something that I have participated in myself. But it has taught me a lot about online marketing. What you'll notice is that people are constantly on their phones. Like if you're out to dinner and there's 4 of you, at some point everyone's gonna be on their cell phone. Unless there's like a rule. The only way no one gets on their cell phone is if it's like a competition. Whoever gets on their cell phone first pays for dinner or something, right? But everybody gets on their cell phone because we're all doing this. We're constantly doing this. And I was in New York last year for a project, and then I was in Manila last year for vacation over the holidays, and there are a couple things that I noticed. Billboards, there are tons of billboards everywhere. In New York, billboards all over the place. In Manila, billboards all over the place. But people aren't generally looking up at billboards anymore. People are looking on their phone and they're swiping and scrolling, and we're literally going through our Instagram feeds like this, just switch, just scrolling up, looking for the next most exciting thing. And I think that's why things like Tinder are such a novelty, because you're essentially doing the same thing. You're scrolling, you're swiping, you're moving. And so what I've learned in just the observation of this whole cultural shift going from, looking at billboards or even watching television to everything going digital, is that if you are an entrepreneur and you're marketing in the online space, if you have a product or a service to offer and you're doing some sort of digital advertising, if you're a YouTuber or a blogger, or you want to be an Instagram model, or you're doing anything that requires mobile phones, internet, and you're trying to expand out in that capacity, you better be pretty darn interesting, because we are so used to swiping left and swiping right and scrolling up and scrolling down and thumbs downing things and no, I don't like that. It's never like, I don't like that, no, and we focus on it. We just ignore it and keep moving, right? And this happens all the time. So if you are doing anything, if you are in the process of monetizing yourself and you're like, I want to become a health coach, or I want to become, a beauty vlogger, or I want to, start a yoga studio, whatever the case is, you better make sure that you do something that stands out. That means your images, and I talked about this in my last video, and I talked about having a successful brand photo shoot, but you need to make sure that the images that you're producing in the online space are representative of your brand, and you better make sure that people stop and pay attention. That is what you want to do, is you want to create thumb-stopping content when you're producing anything online, whether it's video, pictures, text, blog post, advertisements, right? And so one of the reasons why, I do run like Facebook ads and Instagram ads and things like that. One of the reasons why my ads convert so well is because I really focus on creating thumb-stopping things. What is it that people are going to stop and want to pay attention to? What is the first line that I use to capture people's attention, right? What is the image that I use? Is it going to be a picture of myself? Is it going to be a stock image? Which, by the way, I've done a lot of split testing, and images of myself tend to do better than random stock images. Even though they say, like through market research, that pictures of puppies do very well. They just don't for me. And so this is why you have to constantly be testing out your brand and seeing what works for your people. But if you're doing anything in the online space, just make sure that you remain interesting. And that's really the purpose of this video, is just to encourage you guys to use your genius and be all that you can be. But when you're presenting that to people, you really have to come in a packaged form that makes sense. I do want to invite you to my free web celeb challenge that I'm hosting. It starts tomorrow. I know I'm not giving you very much time to prepare. But it's a 5-day, essentially, email course. And if you've been in my other challenges before, you kind of know how it works. It's like a course where I'm teaching you things for 5 days in a row. So it's a ton of content, and then I do live streams to kind of talk to you and answer your questions to make sure that you're getting it, because I want you to be able to monetize yourself. I want you to be able to take the things that you're a genius at and then become the, go-to guru in your industry, to become really well known for what you do best. Right? And so the Web Celeb Challenge is exactly that. It's teaching you how to position yourself, how to master your message, and how to show up in the online space like a boss, because that's what you are. That's what you want to be, at least if you're watching this video. I will put the link to that down below, and you can kind of read through it and read all about it. I have a co-host. She was a client and then became a very good friend and business partner, Vivian Oladin. She's a master at just like publicity and understanding how networking works, especially in real life. And so she's going to be co-hosting the challenge with me. I have a celebrity stylist that's going to be coming on talking about image and what that looks like, especially for the online space. We're going to be talking about video and presenting yourself on social media. I mean, it's really going to be jam-packed with a ton of content. So if you're in a place where you're like, okay, I have this business, it's not really as big as I want it to be, and I want to expand my brand, then join the challenge. If you're like, okay, I don't have a business, but I have a side hustle, but I want the side hustle to become my business, or I want the side hustle to become my full-time career, then join the challenge. If you're like, well, I really don't know what I want to do, but it sounds interesting, then join the challenge anyway, because you might learn some things, and you'll get really inspired, because there are over, at this point, like 2,800 or so women, roughly, inside of the Facebook group. And I mean, it is amazing. It just, the A-list entrepreneurs group on Facebook has just grown to places I never even thought, because there are so many women, especially, who have this desire to be something amazing. They know that they have this burning intention inside of them. They have a gift, they're ready to share it. And so that's really what the space is for. And it's a really safe place for you to get tips and tricks and to network with other like-minded women who have the same dreams and desires as you and can support you. And that's really what I love, is at this point, a lot of it is just interaction inside of the group, where I'm not even leading the discussion, which I actually like that, because it shows me that you guys are connecting with one another. If you're in the A-list entrepreneurs, then you know exactly what I mean. So join the challenge if it's something that interests you. If not, totally fine. But if you're using the online space to market yourself as a brand, then just keep in mind that people are swiping and scrolling on a consistent basis. So you have to create thumb-stopping content so that they stop when they see you and pay attention. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave those in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I will see you inside the group, and the challenge begins tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.